The photograph slipped from Imani's trembling fingers, the faded image of her grandmother, Ilara, staring up at her from the dusty floorboards. Ilara's eyes, even in the black and white, held a strength Imani felt she lacked. The letter attached was dated 1955, a time Imani only knew from history books, a time when the color of your skin dictated your destiny. It spoke of leaving everything behind, of a whispered promise of safety and a future stolen before it could bloom. Imani had found it hidden in the attic, a secret her mother never spoke of, a secret that suddenly felt like the key to understanding her own fractured sense of self. Imani grew up in a predominantly white suburb, her family one of the few black families in the area. She had always felt like an outsider, too black for her white friends, too bougie for her cousins from the city. She excelled in school, burying herself in books, trying to find a place where she truly belonged. But the microaggressions, the sideways glances, the feeling of being constantly judged had worn her down. She yearned for a connection to her heritage, a sense of belonging that seemed forever out of reach. The letter mentioned a town called Rosewood, a place erased from maps and history books, a place where Ilara had hoped to build a life. Imani felt a pull, a magnetic force drawing her toward the unknown, against her mother's wishes. Against the voice of reason telling her to leave the past buried, she packed a bag and set off. Rosewood was nothing like she imagined. No grand monuments, no historical markers, just a whisper of a memory clinging to the overgrown fields and the ancient oaks lining the dirt roads. She found an old woman named Miss Clara, her face etched with the wisdom of generations, sitting on the porch of the only occupied house in the area. Miss Clara recognized Elada's name, her eyes softening with a mixture of sadness and recognition. She invited Imani in, offering her sweet tea and stories that painted a vivid picture of a town that had been vibrant, full of life, and then brutally destroyed. Miss Clara told her of the massacre, the white mob that had descended upon Rosewood, fueled by lies and hatred, burning homes and driving out its residents. Imana had been a young woman then, forced to flee with nothing but the clothes on her back and the hope of a better future. She spoke of Imana's spirit, her resilience, her unwavering belief in justice. Imani listened, tears streaming down her face, the weight of history pressing down on her. Spending time with Miss Clara, exploring the remnants of Rosewood, Imani began to understand. She understood the pain that her mother had carried, the fear that had kept her silent. She understood the resilience that flowed in her own veins, the strength she had inherited from Elara and all the women who had come before her. She realized that her identity wasn't something to be defined by others, but something to be claimed, to be embraced, to be celebrated. One evening, as the sun set over the fields of rosewood, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Imani felt a profound sense of peace. She walked to the old cemetery, the final resting place of those who had perished in the massacre, their names etched on weathered headstones. She placed a single rose on Elara's unmarked grave, whispering a promise to remember, to honor, to fight for a future where no one would ever have to endure such injustice again. Imani didn't stay in Rosewood forever, but she left a piece of her heart there. She returned home a changed woman, no longer seeking acceptance, but demanding respect. She became an advocate for social justice, using her voice to amplify the stories of the marginalized, to fight against systemic oppression. She started a scholarship fund in Ilara's name, helping young Black students pursue their dreams. She still fed the sting of racism, the weight of history, but now she carried it with pride, knowing that she was a part of something bigger than herself. She was a daughter of Rosewood, a descendant of survivors, a beacon of hope for a brighter future. Imani finally understood that her identity was not a burden to be carried, but a legacy to be celebrated. She was Imani, and she was finally free.